everyone, Sabrina Meyers. I am here with Shaun Hinds, who is the CEO of Manchester Central, which is the venue that we are in at the moment for my blog. So I'm going to ask Shaun a few questions to get a little bit more insight about himself, as well as the venue. Shaun,
okay.
How long have you been with Manchester Central?
Okay, so I always answer this, you know when you have young children. So I've not been here like years, so I can't say like 7 years. I've actually been here 21 months. So I'm if I was a toddler, you know, I'd be walking and probably saying a few words, which if you speak to most of my team, that's basically how they describe what I do.
Fantastic.
So that's good. But no, coming up my second anniversary.
And how have you enjoyed being part of the Manchester Central team?
This is really the best job in the world. It's certainly the best job that I've ever had, and there's a few reasons for that. I mean, first of all, as you're finding out on your trip, Manchester's such a great city. You know, there's a real spirit in Manchester. You know, it's big, high profile, and people know about Manchester. Yet when you're here, it feels small. It feels like you know it. It feels like you're a part of what's going on. So we're really connected to what the city's all about. And then if you take the venue itself, you know, it's really quite a unique venue, as you can see. You know, nearly 140 years old originally built as a railway station. And what I like to draw on is, when this building was created, it was all about connecting people. Great journeys that would start from here, great journeys that finished here. And of course now, here we are in 2019, and we're still connecting people, but we're doing it in a different way. We're doing it in business, we're doing it in shows, we're doing it in congress. There's a great synergy between where we started and where we are now. So I think the venue itself, it's, as I describe it, I'm really proud to be the custodian. I feel a bit like a kind of librarian, kind of looking after an incredible collection of literature, because this building has so much history and it's so important to Manchester. And my job is to kind of perpetuate that legacy and help us grow and develop in the future. So in your 21 months that you've been here, what's your favorite part of the building? Favorite part of the building, blimey. I think you have to say the main central hall, which is the iconic image of the building, and it's so evocative. Whether it's nighttime, daytime, whether it's sunlight, whether it's rain, there's so many different atmospheres that can be created in the building, and it's so flexible. It lends itself so well. Yet it's always this incredible piece of architecture. So I think that's. If I were to look at it, that's the favourite feature. But we have so many, interesting rooms and spaces. I think, depending on how you count them, we have something like 23 or 25 different spaces that we use. And we have a fabulous theatre auditorium, for example, world class, which when you're in, you really get this sense of occasion. And so I quite like that space as well. And I quite like my team to sell it a few more times as well, but like a lot of auditoriums in venues, it's one of those spaces that gets used, but maybe not as much as... and you can, how it's set up, you can also sell it really very independently. Definitely, and we're trying to do a lot more of that. Selling it, it's an 800-seat theatre, so whether it's, I don't know, a comedy night, or it's like a TED talk, or we've got companies doing presentations to their employees. We do that quite a lot actually here in Manchester. It's such a brilliant facility, and if you want, you can drive a car onto it, so it's got the capability for the big stuff too. So why do you think this venue in particular is so unique and so different from the other larger venues in the UK? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we reflect on this quite a lot, and there is nothing else like this venue in this space in any other city, right? There are city centre venues. There are certain venues that kind of look a little bit like ours as well. A couple down in London, for example. But there's nothing that is such a part of the fabric of the city, and yet the purpose that it serves is so sort of outwardly looking. When you think about all of the delegates that we bring here, we bring in nearly 500,000 delegates or so a year, coming from all parts of the world. We've got a great Manchester airport with connecting 22 different countries, hundreds of flight options in there. So we've got people coming into Manchester from all over the world, and the role that we play here, it's so unique. And of course, we are in the middle of the city. So absolutely, to have this space, this capability, right on the doorstep of all of the hotels, of all of the great bars, restaurant, attractions that the city's got to offer. No other city can do that. And even if cities will say, well, we're in London or we're here, you find out that you're not. You've got to get on a train, or you've got to get on a tram, and you've got to wait for the bus, or you've got to get a cab. Absolutely. Not so in Manchester. You walk out the front door, and you've got 8,500 hotels that you can walk to. Yeah. And you don't have 8,500 hotels. You have bedrooms that you can walk to within sort of 15 minutes max.
Yeah, absolutely.
And probably around about 2,000 within a 5-minute walk. So.
And I think you really don't feel that until you come here and you are in the heart of it, how close you are to everything in the city. But thank you so much for that insight. That was fantastic. So my last question is probably the most important question, given that we're in Manchester. Are you a Man City fan or a Man United fan?
Well, anyone that's watching will know that my accent is not a Mancunian accent, and there's a bit of folklore up here that anyone that doesn't have a Mancunian accent has to support United, and I'm afraid that's true. But I've been a United fan for many years, so following them for a lot longer than I've actually been based up here. So that's my side. I'm a Red.
He's a Red. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Shaun. It's been such a pleasure seeing this venue and experiencing for myself, and just what a great destination it is for larger and smaller events, because we are in a smaller meeting room, actually. It's a beautiful room. So thank you again.
Well, it's my pleasure. And you didn't ask me about the interesting fact, which I've been racking my brains for.
What is an interesting fact about this about this venue,
Well, it's interesting. It's part of our heritage and our history, but it's kind of mildly interesting if you're into architecture and cities and stuff. But
I am.
We have a canal that goes underneath the venue.
Oh, really?
So you'll know there's a few canals around Manchester. We've got a river, and we've got all the canals. But there's actually, when they did the building of the venue to make way for the original railway line, they needed to redirect a canal from sort of over there somewhere to over there. And so they basically created an underground channel and created an underground canal, which you can access. It's not public access, but there's a couple of secret doors that we have that you can go in, and then you can walk down the ladder, and you're inside an underground canal.
That's incredible. I would have never known that. Secret. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. All right.